Hi there, I am John Rust, candidate for the United States Senate for the great state of Indiana. When I began this journey by running for the United States Senate in 2023, I set out with optimism that Indiana would have a United States Senator all Hoosiers could be proud of. Sadly, the corrupt establishment in Indiana had other ideas. How corrupt are they? The 9th District Indiana GOP chairman at the time they were working to remove me from the ballot is now sitting in jail. That tells you everything you need to know about the Republican establishment right here in Indiana. I knew politics was a dirty business, but as a sixth-generation Indiana farmer, I felt my life experience and achievement for everyday Hoosiers helping feed millions every day would be welcomed by the Republican Party. And indeed, I would have been had the Republican Party still been the party of Abraham Lincoln. Lincoln said very specifically that elections should be up to the people. The Indiana Republican Party feels the exact opposite. It is the party of state control. That election should be up to the party insiders and not you. They ask for your money and your votes, but if you stand up for yourself, they will slap you down hard. In Indiana, we have only an illusion of democracy. The joke about career politicians is that they are nothing but rats and snakes. Trust me on this, rats and snakes are completely honorable and worthy creatures of the animal kingdom in comparison to career politicians. It is why there is a groundswell of support for my campaign as evidenced by thousands more signatures than any other U.S. Senate candidate. Our campaign for the people of Indiana has nearly 3 times the amount of signatures that were required by law to be on the ballot. It is amazing. The people clearly spoke. Yet the party insiders aren't interested in what Hoosier voters have to say. The fix was in. Jim Banks has to be forced on you with zero choice. There is just no way Jim Banks could win a primary election against me. The rule they used to throw me off the ballot was just recently enacted right after COVID. The Indiana GOP knew decent Hoosiers like you and me would be fed up with how career politicians are destroying Indiana and our country. These inept, corrupt career politicians had to be protected at all costs. An analogy to that is how inept male athletes are taking over women's sports. Except in the case of Indiana, the inept athletes are the only ones allowed to be chosen as a winner, without any competition. So we get beauty queens that look like this, and career politicians who won't even show up to vote forced on us. We are all sick of career politicians continuing to explode our nation's debt, pure and simple. That is what's causing the massive inflation that we are all facing. I want to go into one specific vote by Jim Banks. On May 31st, 2023, he called into Indiana for interviews on WOWO and WIBC radio. He said he would vote against raising the nation's debt ceiling. He was lying through his teeth. That very afternoon, he voted yes for the rule to bring that debt ceiling vote to the floor for approval. He could have voted no if he was really against it. Jim Banks chickened out after lying by voting yes for the rule, and then he skipped the final vote. He made a ruckus that he would have voted no, but that was after he voted yes for the rule to bring it to the House floor. It is just painfully obvious Jim Banks is a fraud. He is a career politician interested only in his career. I want to go to Washington to work for meaningful fiscal restraint. We cannot continue to rob working people and the folks who have saved their entire lives to fund those who do not work. Illegal immigrants are flooding across our border. Jim Banks called for an influx of immigrants. He certainly got his wish. Every dollar of new government debt means the dollars you have saved go down in value. That is why we have the price inflation we are facing today. And it will only get worse with these inept career politicians who do nothing about our real problems. We are facing some dark days, but there is hope yet. I am going to the United States Supreme Court to have the law overturned that was used to remove me and so many other Hoosiers from the ballot. It is repugnant that 81% of Hoosiers are banned from even participating in our own state's elections. Ronald Reagan, in his farewell address, spoke of the United States as being a shining city on a hill. It still is, but the lights are fading fast. I will not give up fighting for you, because I want the light of liberty to once again shine brightly for Indiana. So stay tuned.